Django, what's going on, man? Nicholas, what's up, fellas? Here we go again, huh? Naughty gang. Miguel, appreciate you again, man. Aaron, what's up, man? Swish. Gotta do some bench press, man. Start off with bench press. Still, yeah, man. The red hoodie was the first one. So for today, man, I thought about going back to the normal stuff I was doing before I got sick, but I'm still not right, man. Still a headache, still cough and all that, so I'm not gonna absolutely thrash myself. So I just thought, let's do what I want to do. Let's have some fun. So I felt like bench pressing, so I'll do bench press. And then we'll do front squats again, kind of like yesterday, but not that much volume. Yesterday I got sore glutes and sore upper traps from yesterday, so I'm not gonna go crazy. So I'll lessen the front squats, add a bit of bench press, and that'll be it for today. I'm still probably gonna be out here for 2 hours anyway. Something like that, maybe hour and a half. So I'll just mess around. I'll do a lot of volume. The elbow is still bothering me, man. So you know all the pull-upping and all the rowing that I've been doing the last month, man. Like, it's done nothing for the freaking elbow. The elbow still hurts. Like right here as I touch it, right at the ulnar, the head of the ulnar. So it's still bothering me. So I tried pulling. That doesn't help. Shoulders, it always helps my shoulders if they fell off. Pulling does, but pushing. Well, I thought pushing upset my elbow to begin with, but the pulling hasn't helped. So let's do a bit more pushing, but a lot less intensity, a lot more volume. Let's see if that does the trick. I've never had elbow issues in the past, ever, like never. So this is a very, very new territory for me. So I'll just try, I'll try exactly what I did yesterday with the front squats, do a lot of volume on the bench. Like, I'll do 10 sets of 10 with the bar, and then we'll go from there. Florian, nice to see you again, man. So that was 3 already. The elbow already kind of feels a little bit nicer. The other thing, like I was thinking, is when I'm doing my push-ups, I'm doing my push-ups like this, right? Because this is the ground, so this is the ground, and you're kind of doing push-ups like that. Whether that has somehow, stretched out the flexors of the wrist in a weird way, maybe that did it as well. So when you're doing bench press, you're straight, kind of like a punch, right? So I'll do some volume with this, see what happens. You guys know I'm not a fan of bench press, although I'm probably best built for it because I've got these freaking short arms and whatever, but let's see how it goes. Connecting palms to the floor. How do push-ups connecting palms to the floor? What does that mean? Is that just normal push-ups, or what do you mean by that? I don't quite know what you mean there. Like, isn't every push-up like that? Or do you mean? Yeah. I don't know. You know, there's a good chance that I've overdone push-ups. So that's probably the most, you know, probable explanation. But it didn't start hurting until I started doing banded bench. Yeah. Okay, I see what you mean. Look, man, I think push-ups are great, man. Like, I enjoyed them, and I'm just puzzled by the freaking elbow, man. If it wasn't for the elbow, I would have kept going. Yeah. And upper push-ups make sense as well. It's kind of like a bench press kind of position. I always kind of think to myself, man, what if I gave a certain lift all my attention? What would happen? You know, I'll think to myself sometimes, like, what if I fell in love with the bench press? Like, if I was a bench press everyday fascination, where would I have ended up? Like, given the fact that, you know, a whole lot less mobility requirement, it's a much simpler freaking exercise. But you're dealing with smaller joints, right? Like shoulders, wrists, elbows. You know, these joints are much more kind of mobile. And you know, if you have really mobile joints, you have probably less stability and strength through them. Like hips are huge, man. Like they're built for, you know, carrying us 24/7. Right now time is, what does this say? I think this is up to date. 5:45. I think it is actually. I reckon it would be. Although no one ever looks at this clock other than me. Good morning, good morning. Yeah, I'm reading what From Singe is writing here. Yeah, Brody, that kind of makes sense. Kind of go away from that and come back to it. Yeah, I mean, you know, once you kind of maxed out, you know, whatever you were doing, going back to bodybuilding makes sense. I think that's what you're saying, isn't it? Like isolating the muscles and just kind of getting each of these muscles a little bit bigger, a little bit stronger in different variations. That's essentially what Louis Simmons talks about. And, you know, there's a lot of guys out there freaking, you know, using the West Side back in the day, although they were kind of, you know, using all sorts of stuff like, you know, boards and shirts and all sorts of stuff. But, you know, it makes sense to me, you know, just increase variation. The only trouble with me is that whole bodybuilding thing is, fuck man, it's like so boring to me. I don't get a lot of motivation doing that stuff. But if that's what it takes to get stronger, you know, find some motivation. For me, like the whole fascination with me and my training is like, I like to obsess about a lift, you know, and I wish it worked like that, but it seems like you need to rotate all the time. And you can't have this obsession with a particular, you know, movement pattern. Like I wish I could just do pull-ups and squats. I'd love that. And just become really, really good at that. But it seems like you need some variation. At least that's what the majority of people say. Oh man, these J-cups are so freaking annoying. You got like a big lip at the front, so I gotta like go over them. So weird, man. It's old squat rack, old ways of doing things. Yeah, finding the balance is the key. I agree with that. It really is. It's kind of like the whole debate about, you know, high reps, low reps. The answer is yes, as people say, you know, you gotta do all of them. Yeah, carries are amazing. Alda, how you going? Yeah, glad to have you here. Yeah, no, it's very, very common. You know, I've heard a lot of people talk about really high frequencies of bench. Really high frequencies. In fact, a lot of natural guys say that that's the only way to actually move your bench. I spoke Croatian or Serbian or Bosnian, whatever you want to call it, yesterday. Yeah, mogu ja pričat naš. Jučer sam malo pričao sa nekim našim čovjekom ovdje. Ali nema nas puno, razumiješ? Znači, 90%, 99% od gledalca su Englezi, tako da nema svrhe da pričam samo naš. Jedino da napravim drugi kanal i da pričam tamo naš jezik. Tako da, lakše engleski, svi engleski razumiju, razumiješ? Hvala ti, cari. Živ bio i ti. Oh, did I miss a super chat? Oh, damn. Sorry, dude. Miz, this is like 4 days in a row. Thank you, Miz, again. How to handle fatigue on bad days. The best way to handle fatigue, man, is drop that weight down and just add a lot of volume. Like this, what I'm doing now, 10 sets of 10. I mean, I'm sick, so that's kind of my fatigue. Just mindless volume. Something that you can freaking yawn through. And somehow, some way, the body starts to feel a little bit better. It wakes you up, the blood gets around, the nerves kind of relax, fire up, whichever kind of description you want to use. So on bad days when you come in, you're locked up, you're stiff, you're feeling bad, everything's wrong, just start with the bar, man, and do this shit. Like I've done some crazy stuff, man. Like I don't talk about this stuff often, but I've done stuff like 20 sets of 20. You know, 20 sets of 20, like on squat some days, and you know, like after that, you freaking feel amazing, man. Like you really feel amazing. It sounds crazy, but you know, I'm so, you know, hard-headed sometimes, and I'm like, I'm going to squat today, I'm gonna make it good. And sometimes I'll do 20 sets of 20. It takes a freaking while. I mean, you don't have to rest long between those sets, but that's one. And the other thing recently I discovered was jumping. Jumping does something, man. I don't know. 10 sets of 3 jumps, you know, full on, like, you know, into the sky. Reach up if you want to, or whatever. Swing your arms. Does something, man. That's what I would say, Miz, man. Just blood, and you feel good. Thank you again, man. No, elbow's still not good. It's bothering me, man. As I was saying before, I'll use this opportunity while I'm sick to kind of mess around with really high volumes now. I'll do 10 sets of 10 of this. I've already done 8, I think. I've lost count. 8 or 9 or 7, who knows. And then I'll work up to a single of some sort. I don't know what I've got in me now. Depends on where the elbow starts to piss me off, and then I'll drop down and do some more. Clicking, I'll be fine with clicking, man. It's a freaking pain, man. Like, unracking the damn thing, like even a straight arm right there. Oh, what is that? Apparently it's the golfer's elbow. Like, golfer's elbow is like the inside, tennis elbow is out here, I think. So the golfer's elbow is like the ulnar side, the inside, the pinky side bone, right at the top in the elbow. And golfer's, sorry, that's golfer's inside, and tennis is on the outside, like this stuff here. Apparently I've got freaking golfers, and I've never freaking hit a golf ball in my life. Yeah, I'm kind of I'm looking at it every time. Like, I'm not slamming it, you know, but it's a lockout. Definitely. Wow. There you go. There you go. Rock climbing fixed you, man. There you go. So something about latching onto things, you know, like, I mean, if you talk about forearm tendon strength, I don't know how many guys have stronger than freaking rock climbers and all those dudes. You know, finger strength, like tip of the finger kind of stuff. Makes sense. So maybe I should train my grip. I don't know. Nice to see you, dude, Brendan. Thank you for being here, man. Yeah, there you go. Probably, man. Or bite. It's probably my forearms are just, I don't know how, gotten weaker. All right, one more. All right, let's add some weight, huh? Now, how are we gonna do this without me crashing into things? Maybe I'll just jump up here. Alright, let's see how 60 feels. Brody, my lower back used to round deeper. I started hex squatting, and now I'm way stronger in the hole, and my lower back doesn't round. There you go. Yeah, it wasn't my idea. This whole long muscle is a strong muscle, short muscle is a thigh muscle is a short muscle. I got it from somewhere on YouTube, man. Some physio guy. I forget it. It's like an Italian name. I forget the guy's name. And I heard him. He's not very popular, at least in the social media space. But Sportelli, some guy like that. And it really stuck to me. And he talked about, you know, you don't need to do anything other than just see where you are short, and you'll find your weakness. Which is interesting. I don't know if it applies to every situation, every discipline of movement, but it makes sense. Like, some of the shortest muscles that people have are usually, you know, short for a reason, because they are weak. If you think about like medicine, like when somebody's, you know, guarding their belly, you know, it's because you have pain. Nobody has pain in the belly and sit like this. You know what I mean? Like you're always shortening, protecting the sore area. And in a way, I think the muscular system works kind of like that as well. Caffeine. What's up, man? There you go. The moment on racket, where are they? Oh, fuck. God, it's shit when you have pain. Oh, Lord. That's the worst thing, man. Like, for some of us, we have no trouble rocking up and training, man, but other shit holds us back, man. Fuck. Oh, Lord. Yeah, glad you're here, dude. Glad you're here, man. What are the pros and cons of training at a commercial public gym compared home gym? Oh man, Miz, for me, home is peace, home is quiet, home is thoughts, home is detox from everything, home is soul food, home is just a stress reliever. I'm weaker, you could say. I'm colder. I'm in the elements. I can get distracted by the kids. In the home gym, you get distracted by 1,001, you know, people and music and all that kind of stuff. People get in your way. People aren't racking the squat bar next to you in concerning ways, like leaving too many plates on one side and thinking to yourself, I gotta keep an eye on this dude, man, because he might end me. The bar might come up and freaking knock me out and kill me. So there's a lot of danger as well. Like there's idiots, there's guys there that, you know, trying to have the whole ego fight and just want to, you know, cock measuring contest. You know, I'm stronger than you. I can curl more than you. Therefore, I'm tougher than you. It's like that pea brain type of stuff that used to annoy me more. Now I'm like, whatever. I just stay in my lane and just do my thing. But I don't know. Sometimes I like going to the gym to try new equipment, like new bar, new plates, you know, especially when I'm in a deadlift phase. I don't like deadlifting at home. I've said that many times, man. So deadlifting is, when I want to deadlift hardcore weights, I go to the gym. Number one, the flexi bar makes you feel like you're a lot stronger than you are. And two, you can make a lot of noise and no one cares. Like literally my neighbor's behind this wall here. So I'm always kind of conscious of that. I don't like that. It just depends. Like, you know, now that I'm working a lot, I'm working ED, man. Like any opportunity I have for like quiet time, this is like the toilet for me. You know what I mean? Like the only time you have this type of peace and quiet is when you go to the toilet as a parent. You kind of lock yourself in the toilet and you need to take 20-25 minutes to take a shit. That's the only time there's like peace and quiet basically throughout the day. The other time is when you come out here and it's like really cold and you're out here with the barbell, nobody wants to train with you, you know, the whole family's inside toasting in the warmth. Yeah, ED is like ER, emergency department, emergency room. Basically, those are the definitions. So, of course, if you're 20 years old, you want to go to the gym and see some ass, see some tits, you know, get, you know, that kind of external stimuli. Like each stage of life is its own thing. So like me telling you this doesn't mean you have to be a 35-year-old dude at 15. You know, do what kind of what you want. But yeah, like if you asked me to do this when I was 18, to the same kind of like appreciation, no way. You know, I wanted to be out there and see the girls, see the guys, see everyone around, you know, talk, socialize and all that. But eventually you get to a point where you're like, not that I don't like people, there's some really nice guys at the gym, really nice, cool guys. I enjoy talking too, but I wish everyone was like that, you know. one more set, and then I'll go up in weight again, and then I'll quick run up to 120 or something, I don't know. Maybe a bit more, probably not. Elbow's kind of hurting. Yeah, opposite side of the wall, Brendan, man. Pretty much exactly opposite. Mitch says, I'm 19, gym is priority for me, 200 kilos squat in the next year, hopefully. Respect, man. Get after it, man. Enjoy it, man. Like, follow your heart. If that's what you want to be, do it, man. That's where you're going to find success, in doing things that you truly enjoy. What's up? What's up? Welcome, man. Nice to have you here. Jacob. Respect, man. Nice. Last bit of phone before sleep time, huh? 3 a.m. Alright, let's. Oh shit! I was gonna fall there. Alright, screw this. Still hurts. So let's do some more weight. Said nobody wise ever. It hurts, so let's add a bit more weight. This is what's single here. Oh, what am I doing? I need more weight. It's funny how there's always fires to put out, man. So funny. Elbow starts hurting out of nowhere. I mean, I don't need a lot of motivation to not do bench press. So you had a bit of elbow pain and I'm good, man. I could not do it for 10 years now. Second floor in my... Yeah, man, garage gym is literally the best thing I've ever done. You know, I used to live in an apartment as well. At that time I was going to the gym. And on days where I didn't want to go to the gym, I used to think to myself, man, I wish I had just a small little space I can train. That's all I used to think about. It's a really cool thing to aim for. Yeah, man, surprising what a pump can do to someone. You know, you don't have to go crazy, just get the blood moving and you feel better, man. You feel better, there's no two ways about it. Definitely. Oh, man. Just unracking hurts the most. And then when you start moving, it's not bad. Just the unrack hurts the elbow most. Alright, let's try 120. Oh, man. Oh, exactly. I mean, this squat rack, it's very big and takes a lot of space out. I've had kind of thoughts about getting rid of it. But it's the one rack I will buy and I will keep forever. I mean, right now, the only reason I'm using, the only purpose is safety for the bench. I use the other one for squatting, because I like to be free when I squat. I don't like having the thought of, you know, walking out wrong and then hitting this thing on the way down. That's kind of the worst thing about it. Not that I fail often, but I just like to kind of be free, nothing around me when I squat. So even if I walk out crooked, I used to be one of those guys that walk the squat out and I'd be like, where's my feet? Like measurement, because you know, really from the plate to these things, it's like this much space, man, on the other side. So if you walk out and the plates are doing this, you're gonna hit them. If you walk out and you walk out a little bit this way, you're gonna hit them. It's just, I don't like to think about that. A few sets of 15 seconds a day and you'll be gold. Oh, okay. What's his name? Matt Kupel. Kupel. Okay, I'm gonna look him up, man. Here, can I take a screenshot of that? Can I take a screenshot of that? Oh, sick. There you go. Took a screenshot of that. I'm gonna look that guy up. Okay, I'll look into it, dude. Because I'm willing to try anything for this damn thing. It's not a nice feeling. If the only thing that bothered me was the actual thought of bench pressing and not freaking pain, it would be great. The 120 moved alright though. Even the elbow wasn't happy. Oh God. Alright, let's try 130 now. If you have shoulder pain, man, my experience with shoulder pain is do some sort of pull-ups, chin-ups. That's my experience. Every time I do that, my shoulders feel mint. But, you know, that's my experience. You just have to see for yourself. Thank you, dude. Thanks, Matt. Appreciate it. A lot of form focused work, yeah. Yeah, it's an ongoing process, dude. Jacob, you know, I'm freaking 1,000 days in, and I'm still working on my form as well. Don't think you'll ever be 1,000%, 100%. You know, it's an evolution. Your body's changing as you go along, so it's a moving target. It's a moving target, so just keep investing time, keep working on it, and you'll get more and more clarity as you go along. Let's try this 130 now. So this moves. Oh man. Well, that was it. That was way too freaking heavy. Oh yeah, Brendan, it's a lot easier doing this. It's just easier. Especially now that I've kind of been sick and whatever, I didn't want to stare at the screen and headaches and whatever, and I thought to myself, why don't I live stream? And it's perfect. The moment I finish tonight with you guys, with this video, I click stop, then the thing uploads automatically and I'm done. You know, so my training is my video and it's, you know, I'm communicating with you guys, so I don't have to type. That's probably the best thing about it. The fact that there's very little work for me to do, and I still get everything I would otherwise get, you know, through the comments and whatever, to a much better level with this. It's just a win-win in my eyes. I guess the only negative thing is, the only negative thing is that the view count is way lower. Like it's, you know, much smaller. You know, because there's no structured thought, there's no storyline, it's just us chatting, you know, it's just chat. So, but anyway, in these times, I'm happy with that. You know, it ticks a lot of boxes. If you watch Clarence's his latest video, but he talks about doing front squats with weight lifting straps to get good positioning. Yeah, I could try that. You know, my wrists have never been the problem. Well, you know, for me it's like when I strap in and I tuck under, if I really force that full clean grip, then I externally rotate my shoulder too much and it just gives me shoulder issues if I really kind of concrete myself in. Cheers, man. No clue. Thank you for that. Why I get posterior hip pinchy coming out of the hole? Liz, what I would do, man, is test your hip internal external rotation. So sit in a chair. Oh, this is a bad way of doing it. And rotate. This is external. This is internal rotation, external rotation, and kind of measure. Well, this is not how you do it because you're supposed to be 90-degree hip, like sitting upright, but you won't see. And see discrepancies in left to right, and then see discrepancies in what the normal hip mobility is supposed to be. And then if you address the hip internal external rotation, that, in my experience, is a great indicator to what you need. So on days that I feel like I have no mobility in the squat, if I just squat down, I feel like shit. I sit on a chair and I start doing this business, left, right with the leg. Then I'm like, whoa, man, okay, so I've got some empirical kind of viewpoint on what's going on. And so when you start measuring things, you can start putting numbers on your feelings. Like, I feel really crap today. Like, this is like 2 out of 10 mobility for me. And then you check, you measure your hip internal external rotation, and then you kind of feel like, oh crap, okay, so there's a correlation between those two. And then you type into Google, freaking whatever you want, you type in external rotation stretches, exercises, and bam, you start to implement some of those, and all of a sudden, magically you start to unlock. So Takes 2 seconds to check, and then you're kind of heading in the right direction. From Manchester, respect. Hey Zach, feeling a lot better, but I'm not 100% yet. So I'm kind of just bench pressing now. When I feel good, I never bench press. Oh man. Do some triples. I'll try and get 10 triples out of this. I've done prolonged fasting, man. I've done fasting, some crazy fasting. I think I did once almost to 48 hours. That's the longest I've done it. I've always wanted to do like a full week, like 7-day fast, like with nothing. I'm talking about just water. But I've never gotten around to it. I don't know. Because when I go on annual leave, the days I want to do that, it's like I want to do stuff. I don't want to be a grumpy dad. I imagine like, day 3 or 4, you're not a very happy camper. Sheffield on a Sunday morning over here. Nice, man. Nice. It's Sunday night over here for us. That's 2. Let's get 3 here. I think it's 3. Always forget count. A bit warm now. Right now, when did I last weigh myself? Last week? So before the sickness, I was 98.5. 99 on my scale. Somewhere there. I think that's my optimal body weight after all these years of training. 100 kilos, give or take. That's kind of my happy spot. At 6'1", 100 kilos. I feel good. Yeah, benching is... Oh, hell yeah, dude. Snev, before, back in the day, dude, I used to be like the majority of the guys in the gyms, man. I would skip leg day at all costs until I injured my back, and then I got pissed, spending all this damn time in the gym and not feeling strong. When I injured my back, I was like, okay, time to get strong. How do you get strong? Powerlifting. How do powerlifters get strong? Squats, deadlifts. All right, let me learn. And I started from nothing. I started deadlifting 40 kilos. Scared as hell. Took me years, man. It took me like years upon years to get to 200 kilos because of that fear of the lower back giving out. Always had that fear. Because that feeling, once you hear a pop in your back and you drop to the floor and you got immense pain and you feel like your legs are coming and going and you're not feeling them, fuck that. Never want to go there again. That's 4. How long did it take you to get to 900 kilos? I'm 23, 90 kilos, but I can't seem to go beyond 90. You're 23, dude. When I was 23, I was like 75 kilos, man. It wasn't until I turned like 25, 26, 27 when I started doing deadlifts and squats that I really started putting on some weight. I think that's the thing about people, yeah, this is the thing. People don't appreciate how heavy bones are. So bone density is like a real thing, okay? I've met people in the gym who look bigger than me, you know, bodybuilder types, you know, just live in the machines. Don't do squats, don't do deadlifts, don't do bench press, don't do anything like that. Great shape, pumped up, all that. How heavy are you? I'm like, I'm 100. How heavy are you? I'm 83. There's no way I'm 17 kilos freaking heavier than you. You look bigger than me. And then you kind of start stripping back the composition of people, and it's like heavy ass lifting, like squat every day. I've got heavy ass weight on me every day, axial loading. Adds bone density. You know, strength is about bone density as well. There's receptors everywhere. So you can't just think about muscle, tendon, ligament and think that's the whole story. No. Your body's not going to want to release all of the neurological power, all of the central nervous system power. You know, it's not going to allow you to move heaps of weight if there are structural concerns in your bone. That's like foundational stuff. And so there's a lot of senses you can't outsmart this stuff. This is something that one of my colleagues told me about. He's like, dude, bone density is a real thing, dude. Real thing. And you squatting every day and doing heavy ass weight all the time, it's a real thing. So I don't know if you guys have ever thought about bone density. Have you ever done a bone density test? I haven't. And the only reason I haven't is because I don't want the radiation. I feel like my bones are strong. It makes sense that they're strong. I don't want to put myself through radiation. This is what a lot of people don't understand, like doing some of these diagnostics or some of these radiology tests. There's a lot of radiation, like, and I'll probably get a fair decent dose of radiation at work as well when you have to do x-rays. For resusc patients, we just put lead suits on, but like I sometimes think to myself, like, yeah, there's no way this is capturing, blocking all of it. Like, I'm probably copping a sweet deal of this. But anyway, let me do, is it 4 now? I don't even know. It's 4. Oh man, 4. It's probably 5, but it's 4. Let's say 4, 4, 4. Remember 4. Small of Junior is great. I tried Small of Junior, like the mesocycle template, on squats probably a few years ago, actually during the Squat Every Day program. I would do those 4 days and then everything in between was just fluff. You know, lightweight, well, less intensity. And it's tough, man. there's no two ways about it. It is tough. It is tough as hell. And then years down the track, you kind of realize that a lot of those guys that, you know, Small of Junior was created for are like juiced up to the gills, you know. So no wonder natural guys have trouble, you know, recovering in between all those. This is another one of my experiences of going, this is not built for human beings, this is built for supernaturals. I have a CT scan in a few days. Thanks for reminding me about radiation. Yeah, radiation is a big thing, man. Like, a lot of people come to the triage window and they're like, I want a CT scan. It's like, you don't understand the first thing. We don't do that. It doesn't work like that. You can't just buy yourself a CT scan. It doesn't work like that. When people come to ED and our ED physicians think, okay, we need a CT scan, they don't just book it in. What they have to do is they have to call the radiology representative, registrar, consultant, whoever's on take. And we basically have to sell them the story. Okay, here we got a 40-year-old man presents with, you know, right iliac fossa pain, surgical belly, let's say, you know, distended abdomen, temperature, hemodynamically unstable, blah, 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 blah. We really need an urgent CT to work out what the diagnosis is. You know, query appendicitis, query, I don't know, gas under the diaphragm, whatever, it doesn't matter, like, it's something. And so then the guy on the other end is like, okay, that's a really good story, we'll allow the CT. So there's a gatekeeper for CTs. You can't just willy-nilly go in for like whatever reason. So there's like a cell and a receiver kind of thing. And a lot of times they say, piss off. have you tried ultrasound? Have you tried some other method, MRI or something like that? Something that doesn't radiate somebody as much. So if you're having a CT scan, number one, there's a good reason for you to have a CT scan. And yeah, so basically, if I take a flight, just so you understand, like talking about wrong topics here, but if I take a flight from here to say Melbourne, like a 50-minute airplane flight, the radiation that I'm gonna cop from here all the way to over there and land in Melbourne is basically equivalent to one X-ray of my body. And so people that fly all the time, like these pilots that are flying non-stop, they're basically copying radiation 24/7. Now, I don't know whether their rates of cancers and whatever diseases is an increase, probably is. But people that are generally living on sea level have, I think I've read, I'm saying this correctly, some of you guys might have better information. People that are living at sea level have less incidences of cancer than people who are living up in altitude, like, in the mountains somewhere. And that's purely because people in the mountains are getting more radiation from the sun. Purely, they're just getting harder radiation. So radiation is a real thing, and so people that get X-rays and CTs, people that are ordering these things, they have to have a license. They have to understand what's going on. Doctors, nurses, like I order X-rays all the time at work, all the time. I can't order X-rays from here to here, but I can order X-rays, shoulders, arms, legs, ankles are probably my most frequent X-rays that I order. And I have to think to myself, okay, do I think this is broken? Do I think the story is concerning enough for me to warrant an X-ray? Like, I don't want to just willy-nilly X-ray everybody, because there's cost and benefit to everything. Why should you expose somebody from radiation if you don't have to? So that's kind of a bit of a spiel about radiation, but radiation is a great deal. And a lot of guys have asked me, what, can you get an X-ray of your pelvis, X-ray of your femur? Can you get all these X-rays? It would be really interesting for us to kind of know. It would be really interesting for us to know kind of like the changes of your joints, after all these days, like, have some tests, so, interesting kind of outcomes, for the scientific community or whatever. I'm like, I get where you're coming from, but I don't want to just willy-nilly X-ray myself, because I want to, That's kind of that. That's 5. I haven't even started squatting, it's 54 minutes. Looking the pace. More, could you lift with the belt, or is your core strong enough at this point that it wouldn't make a difference? I don't know. I am curious to see what I will do with a belt. That's interesting always. But numbers have never been a big thing to me, because it's like, okay, I set a PR with the belt. That's great. That's like another sport for me. The whole thing is, how much can I lift without a belt? Of course, I could probably implement that and overload through a belt. That kind of makes sense. That makes sense. All good, dude. I'm happy to give you what I know. My wingspan, so I'm 185, I think 184 centimeters. I've been telling people, I reckon I'm 185. And my wingspan is like 180, 179 or something like that. So I'm a few centimeters shorter than my height. Short arms, basically. That's it. Built for the bench, but I don't care about the bench. Hey Ricky, what's up? It's funny, like I've got short arms and I don't, well, my bench is okay, I guess, whatever, but my deadlift is my best lift with these short arms. It's weird. Oh man, 180 is my lifetime goal on the bench. I think it's possible for me, but I've got to bench more, man. You know, like I'm horrible when it comes to that. Horrible. Seven. Gotta get a show on the road now. Bit squatting. If you could do one upper body exercise for the rest of your life, what would it be? Pull-ups, chin-ups, pull-ups, something like that. Without a doubt, man, that's my favorite. Makes you feel great, basically. I never use dumbbells, ever. It's always barbell work. Number one, I think dumbbells are so freaking expensive, man. So expensive, so I never kind of did that at home. And then after the first few years of training at home, I never had any dumbbells. And now that I go to the gym, I'm like, yeah, dumbbells are cool, but I never train with them, so screw them. It's all barbell work, all the time. Nothing else. Man, that is exciting to me. Zach, 180 in a year. If I really went after it every day. Fuck. Like, that is super freaking exciting for me to hear. If I could get 180. You know what the funny thing is right now? My elbow doesn't hurt. After all these sets, nothing. Isn't that interesting? So benching fixes my elbow. Dude, Daniel, man, it's a fact. Bench press super heals your elbows. Trust me, I'm a nurse. Was the bands, definitely. Was the bands. Important when trying to maximize flat bench press. Man, I never do incline, never. I am like minimalist, really. The only other thing I've done is overhead press. Those are the only things that I've done for like upper body pushing. Those two. Nothing else, basically. I think that's 8. Whew. Osman, welcome, man. How you going? Yeah, Mick. Keeping it simple. What exercise made your deadlift blow up the most? Big Supremacy. How you going, man? Good to see you here. I reckon the squats, man. I know it's silly, but like after all these freaking years of squatting, my squat has moved somewhat, whatever. You know, my deadlift has, I don't know. Like last year when I made the crazy deadlift kind of like jumps, I was in pain at the start of the year. Like I'm always with pain in the right hip. And so last year, if you can remember, all of last year was posterior chain, this way, that way, this way, that way, RDLs, deficit, block pulls, any which pulls. The year before that was kind of like similar as well, just lots of pulling, and success. So, you know, I said to you squats, but really like the real accessories, the real volume was posterior chain stuff. And That stuff always feels good to me. I don't know. I'm always kind of thinking about, okay, enough of this squat business. Well, let's jump back into posterior chain stuff. Right hip pain is a journey, man. I'll tell you about it. Let me just get this set. So right hip pain, man. I'll give you a list of things that help me. I haven't really pinpointed it exactly, although I have a good feeling what it is. Basically, I think it's an adductor issue. As strange as that sounds, because the referred pain is exactly over the TFL, and when you palpate the TFL, it hurts like crazy. But I will tell you why I think it's the adductor. The following exercises really help me. RDLs, good mornings, back raises from a GH0 or 45, anything pulling, anything high volume. Made me always feel good, and I could go back and squat without any pain. The times that I've tried squatting for high volumes, hip pain, hip pain, hip pain, hip pain. So lots of pulling makes me happy to squat. When I'm happy to squat, I squat a lot of weight. So the absence of pain makes me feel strong. So all of this pulling business, lunges made me feel good. Hamstring curls, maybe. That's kind of more kind of like knee flexion kind of strength, like distal kind of hamstring. Anything kind of around the groin, so like a lot of hip extension stuff was amazing for me. Amazing. Recently what I've discovered is the adductors, stretching the adductors, sumo, I call them sumo, but really wide stand squats to a box squat, that kind of makes my hips feel nice. Anything that engages the adductors through a kind of like a controlled eccentric kind of pushing. That's kind of the gist of it. I think when I squat ATG high bar, that initial kind of bounce off the hole is a lot of adductor. So I think over squatting every single day, those adductors get pissed off, get inflamed. You know, I think it's basic. I think the medical term for my issue is proximal adductor tendinopathy. That's what I think the whole thing is. Although it is very close to a hamstring. You know, it's very, like without actually getting an ultrasound and like figuring out which head muscle it is, it's very close to the hamstring, because people that have proximal hamstring tendinopathy, they kind of experience similar symptoms. So like in a car, if I'm driving a car like in this position, right, for a long period of time, I get hip pain because I'm sitting on the freaking tendons. Like you're sitting on the adductors and on the hamstring tendons. That burns me up. That is like my worst position. So if we have to drive, 40 minutes to my in-laws, Jesus Christ, I get there and I can't wait to get out of the car. As soon as I stand up, my hip pain kind of goes away instantly. It's that 90-degree position that makes me living hell. That's kind of the gist of it. So yeah, many times I stuck with the exercises that worked, and this is where the psychosis of all of this begins. Because you don't really know 100% what you're doing is happening, and especially when you get into a crisis, then you try multiple exercises because you're in pain. Over the course of the 3 years, I've kind of worked out what's what, but every single time I would go to squat, any meaningful volume, the pain would return. So then I'm like, did that exercise really help me? Or was it the absence of squats that helped me? So it's kind of like I need a double-blind control trial to work this shit out. Because when you're in pain, you stop the thing that's making you in pain, which is squatting. I still squatted, but much less volume and intensity. And then you start doing like this other accessory stuff, fluff stuff, and then you feel good. Another thing, which is crazy, hey, what's up, man, is that I said to you squatting makes you feel bad. High weight squatting. If I did something like 60 kilos for 50 reps or the barbell for 100 reps, just super, super high reps, I feel great. So it's heavy weight that would piss me off. Even the squatting motion in itself wasn't too bad. It's just the frequency of hitting a top single or triple or double would really piss me off. All right. All right, boys, give me a second. Let me set up the squatting business. Let's put the camera over here and I'll turn the light on. Light's not working again. Can you guys see any of that? All right. You should do core before squatting. You will. What do you think is your weak point in the squat? Greetings from Poland. Dobro jutro, kako je? I reckon my weak point, I mean, this is the thing, I don't really know, because I've gone back and forth. Right now I'm running with quads. Quads are my weak point, and I'm doing a lot of quad stuff. All of this year I have. High reps, you know, bodyweight squats. Lots of front squats. Just lots of volume in general. I don't know. Let's run with the quads. Last year I ran with posterior chain was weak, and I saw my deadlift move, you know. Was that last year? Yeah, last year. I saw my deadlift move, got to 265, I think that was last year in February. Got to 265 deadlift, I was in the back of doing lots of posterior chain. But my squat didn't really go until I started messing around last year with little quads. That's what I felt. So I'm running with quads. So hopefully the squat experiment is going to eventuate some better squatting, because posterior chain led into some good deadlifting. So let's run that. But I could be wrong with my prognosis. I could be wrong. Who knows? Yeah, you're right about the me going on my toes. Definitely, that's what's happening. It takes me a few sets to get warm, especially it's really cold outside right now. So my feet are frozen basically. These shoes that I have are really thin. I'm cold basically. So it'll take me a few sets to kind of get the mobility to squat. Right now I'm really cold basically. So as I warm up, you'll see my heels start to stay on the ground. This is another negative of training at home. That's concrete. Concrete gets cold. It's like, I don't know how many degrees it is right now. It's like 10 degrees, 7 degrees or something like that. Trust me, for Australia, that's cold. So yeah, you'll see in a few more sets of barbell, I'll start to kind of warm up a bit more. Nice, finally you guys are enjoying some warmer weather. You're in Siberia. Yeah, I got nothing on you, man. You know what cold is like. That's another level. What's the coldest you've ever seen over there? Yourself in Siberia. Hello, hello. Ah, Ricky, you're from New Zealand. Nice, man. Minus 50. Dude, I can't even imagine what that feels like. I can't even imagine. Jesus Christ. Minus 50. So the highest I've ever seen here, like in terms of, just so you have some sort of idea, because Australia's hot, right? The highest I ever saw here was 40, I want to say 49 in Adelaide, I reckon. 48 definitely, 49 I reckon I've seen in Adelaide. This is plus 49, no negative 49, so very, very hot. So 100 degrees difference. So you can see, like when it's 5 degrees here, it's like freezing as hell, man, because our bodies are used to getting toasted. And the red, yeah, I know, the red is my favorite as well. Thanks, man. Thanks, Miz. Yeah, I remember the heat wave you guys got. That was crazy. The heat wave made worldwide news, basically. I've never been to the UK, ever. Man. That's it for the front squats. Feeling yesterday's session did a lot. So traps are sore, upper back, thoracic extensors are sore, erectors, and I'm feeling the glutes. So that's enough for tonight. Yeah, man. Especially if you put volume into it, it really does get after you. I'll go back to the back squats real soon, I think. I will. The front squats are going to play into all of this because I'm trying to kind of get stronger in the upper back. Like part of me is wanting to set a bit of a PI in the front squat before I go back to back squats. In my mind, I kind of want to oscillate between the two, like 1 month of that, 1 month, kind of like that kind of stuff. But we'll see how it pans out. Front squats are feeling good. So, because once I get to like 180, 185, let's say, range with the front squats, I'll know my upper back is ready. And when my upper back is ready and I feel strong in that, you know, front rack position, then I know the back squat is going to feel like a joke. So, fellas, I'm going to leave it here. I need to get inside. It's freaking cold out here. I'm not going to train anymore. That's it for tonight. So once again, thank you for dropping by. Thank you for keeping me company for another session. Really cool having you here. I really enjoy these lives. Really enjoy them. I feel like you guys are here with me training. That's literally how it feels. So I'll continue to do these, I think. Yet tomorrow I'll go back to work. So I don't know what I'll do tomorrow, but I'll train at some point, and we'll see what we do. All right, fellas. Appreciate you guys again, and I'll catch you in the next time. Peace out, y'all. All good. See you guys. Cheers.